Where do you come from? Lubbock, Texas?
Lubbock, Texas, yes, sir.
You go to school down there?
Well, we did until we got out of high school finally.
Right after high school you started playing together?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Your big hit right from the start, or has it been sort of a long...
Well, we've had a few rough times, I guess you say, but we've been real lucky getting it this quick.
Well, Texas, nice to have you up here.
Thank
Let's
you.
have a very nice hand for these Texas records.
You know you love me, baby, till you tell me maybe that someday, well, I'll be blue. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye, yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
Ik had natuurlijk veel gehoord over Lubbock, Texas. En voordat ik hierheen vloog, zei iemand, het is niet meer dan een spatje vuil op de wereldkaart. En dat is ook zo. Het is een van de meest uitgewoonde plekken die ik ooit op de wereld ben tegengekomen. En toch is hier Buddy Holly geboren. En eindelijk in 1979 hebben ze besloten hem toe te laten in een uithoek van Lubbock bij de nieuwe universiteit tot de Walk of Fame. En hier staat het Buddy Holly, 1936-1959. Er is ook een standbeeld voor hem opgericht. Daar, kijk, staat een magere, lange jongen. En op deze Walk of Fame, op deze rare plek, er zijn ook heel veel mensen bijgezet waar ik nog nooit van gehoord heb. Maar gelukkig, en dat wist ik niet, zijn ook de eerste mensen met wie Buddy Holly samenwerkte erbij gezet. Nicky Sullivan en de leden van de Crickets, Jerry Allison en Joe B. Molden. Eindelijk is hij dan gewaardeerd met zijn vrienden. En wat voor mij het wonderlijkste is van alles, dat op deze uithoek van de aarde de popmuziek werd uitgevonden. Of misschien wel een definitief nieuwe wending kreeg. Fine. For the first time in Lubbock.
What do you think about Lubbock, Texas?
It's so empty.
It's empty?
Yes.
Well, it's spread out, put it that way.
And so quiet.
It's really nice. I like it. I like it better than Dallas.
And you lived here for all your life?
What?
You lived here for all your life?
No, I've lived in Dallas for quite a while. I was born and raised in Lubbock, though.
Mm-hmm. And now you're back in Lubbock?
Right. I like it. It's really a fine place. People are friendly and everything.
You've noticed that.
Did you meet my dad?
You know? I know him from the film. I know his face.
This is my dad, Larry.
Hello.
Hello.
Boudewijn.
Larry Holly. I'm glad to meet you. Glad to meet all of y'all. I gave you the wrong block, but this is it. Would y'all like to go on in now?
Yeah.
My mother will be here in a little bit.
Hello, how are you?
I'm a fan of Buddy Holly.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm a very, very, very big fan, a great fan of your
Well,
son.
thank you.
And I think he made a new sort of music in the 50s. It was very new then
Yes.
in the 50s.
Yes, he really did. Uh-huh.
But when you hear the music for the first time, what were you thinking then?
Well, of course, I enjoy it, and I feel like that Buddy picked up some of his music from me. I used to sing a lot, and fact is, I grew up singing, I sang for a few recording sessions, and I had a twin sister, and we sang together. And up until just recently, I didn't think, well, I knew he was good. And, of course, to me, that's the way any mother feels.
Mm-hmm.
And but I realize now that he really was greater than I knew or thought. And I like to think that he took a little bit of it from me, because I used to sing.
Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll have you.
And so your brother playing the guitar the first time. Do you remember that?
He got with one of these Maines brothers, the older Maines brothers, and they were playing on the school bus. This other boy would, when they'd ride the school bus out to Acuff, east of town here. And Wayne Maines taught Buddy some chords on the guitar, and Travis, my brother, taught him some chords, and he just started picking it up in various places when he was about 15 years old, 14, 15. And boy, I mean, he grabbed it quick. It just, first thing we knew, he could play and sing old Hank Williams songs,
Yes.
and do the yodeling and everything.
And you play together also in your, yeah?
When we were very young, when I was about 14 and Travis was 12 and Buddy was 6 or 7, well, we was on a stage show, on several of them, amateur shows, and Buddy played with us.
Mostly Larry played the violin and I played the accordion, which was a weird combination, but we would enter talent contests, amateur talent contests, and for the most part we won them.
Where's Buddy?
At one time, Buddy played with us in one, and we won it that night.
Yes?
And I think due to Buddy.
And do you remember the song then you played?
Yeah.
Yeah? What song, please?
It was called River of Memories.
That's a song by
An old song. It was, I don't even know who wrote it or anything, but I believe Mother taught it to us.
Buddy come to me one day and said, Larry, I found a banjo that a guy wants to sell, cheap. And I said, well, you can't play a banjo. And he said, I can learn it. And I said, okay, let's go take a look at it. And we went over to this guy's house, and we got it for $10. Well, this banjo was hid all these years, and I found it over at Mother's house about, 2 or 3 months ago. And actually, it hadn't even been opened, except I just opened it a minute, the strings and all
Can
this
you have a look inside?
Yeah, we can look at it. It's a heavy thing, but Buddy got to where he could play it. Let's see if we can get it open. I think there's another one. Yeah, it's just but it's sort of pretty on the back. It's out of tune, and it's just exactly like
Could you
Buddy
play
did.
the banjo?
No, I can't.
No?
Especially an out of tune one. I don't even know how to tune one.
No. It's a beautiful one. He's in a beautiful shape, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And you could remember playing him on the banjo?
I remember him piddling around with it, and he could play pretty good. In fact is, he came in one day and said, hey, let me show you something. He sat down at our piano and played Fats Domino's Blueberry Hill, just like Fats. He'd been on tour with Fats Domino, and I said, I didn't know you could play the piano. He said, well, I watched Fats for a while.
Ergens, daar in dat huis, zat iemand zo op een gitaartje zijn liedjes te oefenen. En een gedeelte van die banden, van die originele banden, is nog bewaard gebleven. Dat is voor mij fantastisch. Om eens een keer te kijken waar de muziek dus echt een nieuwe wending aannam. Hè. Het slagwerk van Ellison, een fantastische gitaar van Buddy Holly. Die andere gitaar van Mol, dat huis.
See what it sounds like just for the heck of it. Huh? Did you record it? Good. Okay, it's good.
They were singing at home in the 50s.
Oh, yes.
Where? In the garage or
No,
No?
in the house, in Buddy's bedroom.
in Buddy's bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Was there space enough?
We didn't have, they didn't go into the garage for
No.
their recordings, as has been reported.
That isn't true.
No.
Oh, I always think it was in the garage.
No,
It was in Buddy's bedroom.
Buddy's bedroom. Mm-hmm.
And you were cooking or something. What were you doing? You hear the sound?
Oh, yes. I was going about my housework, listening, of course. I didn't go in there, but I could always hear it and enjoyed it. And I'd make an appearance in there occasionally and maybe make some remark about a little change here or there.
What kind of remarks? Could you remember one remark? Not too loud or something like that?
Yes.
Yes?
That's right. And you're singing that a little bit too loud, I believe, and you might tone that down a little bit. And Buddy, sing that the way you sang it the other day.
Young people about his age could tell that he was doing it good, you know, doing it great. And I started just hearing him a little bit over Mother's, and then I started having him bring his guitar out on the job whenever we were doing some tile jobs, and it got to where he didn't have to help much. All he had to do is sit on the tile boxes and play requests. We could request Marty Robbins or Hank Williams, any of them old songs. He could do them, and he did them so good that everybody on the job would quit working and come and listen. Finally, the contractor told me, he said, "I like to hear him, but we're not getting this house built."
The whole family was behind him, and we enjoyed his music. And there were times, I suppose, when he was beginning to learn that he made, you know, no one likes to hear anybody practice over and over and over, you know, repetitious stuff that grates on your nerves. But for the most part, I think they were real happy with his efforts. My father, for instance, he was very insistent on all of us taking music lessons. He loved music so much that he couldn't play or sing, but he loved to hear us. So he was willing to sacrifice and lay out the money for music lessons such as that. And so that's where it all came from, I think.
Every day it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey.
And then there was his first hit in the United States. What do you remember of his first recording on the radio, at home listening to the record of your brother?
Yeah, even before he had the hit, he had been doing some pretty good stuff and cutting some acetates, and he'd bring me these acetates when he'd get through and sign them and everything and give me one. And in fact, it's right over there. There's some. I've got.
There's an acetate.
I've got quite a few. This is the very first acetate.
Of That'll Be the Day.
That'll Be the Day.
And this is handwriting too.
Right, he signed it.
And he writes here holy without an E.
Yeah.
Why he left the E?
Well, I've got some of them that he had the E in.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
But why he left the E? It's such a beautiful name.
That was Norman Petty's idea. He said, well, why don't you just leave it out since they missed it on the first album? And so Buddy said, okay.
Oh, it was a mistake on the first album.
There was a mistake on the first album. And we were sitting over on a job working, me and him, and he was real despondent one day, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, on the City County Health Unit here in Lubbock. I said, Buddy, what's the matter? He said, I don't know. He said, I wish to goodness that we could hear something. Norman sent those.
Norman Petty.
Yeah, he sent that tape off to New York over a month ago, and I haven't heard anything. And he was getting disgusted. I said, well, let's go put up the tools, and well, let's go over to Mother's and call up to New York and see if they're going to do something or just, you know, I was getting aggravated. And he called up there. I wanted to be sure and call on Mother's phone because of the phone bill. And the guy said, hey, baby, he said, they're playing your song on the streets of New York. It's going to sell 1 million. Buddy said, sure enough. He said, well, could you send me $500? I'm starving to death. He said, sure thing. And they sent him $500. And I lost my helper right then.
You are the boss of the Buddy Holly Society. Is it Memorial Society, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes. I'm a fan, and you are a great fan too. But could you explain what's so special for the other people in the world who never heard about Buddy Holly?
Number one, it's very happy music. If you're having what we call over here a downer day and you're feeling sad, you put his music on, you feel better. Number two, he always spoke in the first tense. He's speaking to me, not to everyone else, but right to me. And I think a lot of his fans feel the same way with his music.
I think his clear bell-tone voice, his good clear licks on the guitar, and the lyrics of his songs that were so, not repetitious, but they told a story. And then too, for the most part, Buddy's songs were happy music. There were a few, you know, tear-jerkers, but anyway, what everybody seems to like about him is the happiness, the beats, you know. And
I'll tell you one thing I remember. We were in a theater with a very wide stage, and when they came out, two crickets stayed on one side of the stage, drums in the middle, and Buddy went to the other side and played to the people in the poor seats, the side rows that don't see as well. I thought that was very, very nice. I really did.
What was the first shock for you?
The first shock was March of '58. I went to see the Crickets, my favorite group, do That'll Be the Day, and did not, I hate to say, know who Buddy Holly was. The records all said Crickets. I went to see him do That'll Be the Day, and one of the songs they did was Peggy Sue. And I said to my friend, that sounds like Buddy Holly. He said, that is Buddy Holly. And that's how I knew Buddy Holly was one of the Crickets.
You're one of the original Crickets.
That's right.
And you played with Buddy then 10 years, nearly 10 years? Nearly?
54.
54 till 58, isn't it?
54 to 58, yeah, just about 4 years.
And then you split up?
Oh, yeah, Buddy moved. Buddy and I both got married. I married Peggy Sue, and he married a girl from New York named Maria
It was
Lena.
Cindy Lou, isn't it? Not Peggy Sue?
Well, my wife was Peggy Sue. We changed it because of her.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy started the song with Cindy Lou, and then he and I finished
And
it.
you changed it?
Changed it to Peggy Sue.
Yes, okay.
But anyway, Buddy's wife was from New York, and he moved up there, and Joe B and I started, and we sort of worked it out, and we didn't actually have a fight or anything. Buddy said, okay, I'm going to try it in New York a while, and we got some more. We got a fellow named Earl Sinks and Sonny Curtis, and started another bunch of Crickets, and we're working, made some records. In fact, we cut Love's Made a Fool of You, and okay, someone's the other side, which is immaterial. But anyway, we were recording as the Crickets, and Buddy was working out of New York.
The Beatles took the name from the Crickets. I can tell you that when they looked up the name, they wanted an insect name. A lot of the groups of the 50s had insects names, and they went to an encyclopedia, which goes from A to Z. Well, the first name they stopped on was Beatles, and Jerry Allison, the drummer, says, nah, that's just a little black bug you step on. And they kept going down, they got to the C's, and they found Cricket.
It would be possible that Buddy Holly and the Beatles was the first name.
And Paul McCartney and the Crickets. You never know. You never know about history.
Nice to
Exactly.
hear that. But about yourself, you are, for me, you're a very famous drummer.
Well, thank you, Baldwin.
And you had a lot of special effects. You know the cardboard drumming.
Right,
You can do that.
And Not Fade Away, and You're So Square, and some of the old things we just used the cardboard box.
Could you tell me something about why you didn't use a drum set, but the card box?
Well, it sounded different for one thing, and besides that, with the drum, they ring a lot more resonant, and there's a little more leakage into like the bass mic and the guitar mic and the vocal mic. So in all those days until probably, well, all the things that Buddy and Joe B and I kept together, I suppose, were mono. You know, it's all cut at one time, and if you wanted to overdub, you had to start another machine and run that onto it and sing with that. You know, so we tried to get it all at one time, and the cardboard box didn't ring so much, didn't leak into the mics.
You have to remember, here in the States, in the 50s, we had mono. We didn't even have stereo recordings back in '57. And the only way, really, to double track is to put something on one recorder, feed it to a second one, then redub again. Every time you dub something, whatever was originally on that tape goes further into the background. Well, Buddy did it backwards. He would put the bass line on first, as they do today.
All my life I've been waiting, and I there'll be no hesitating, no boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could say that you were meant for me. Stars appear and the shadows are falling. You can hear my heart calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know what you've been missing, no boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could say that you were meant for me. heart to calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know just what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could say that you were meant for me.
And what do you think of
Yeah,
other
Mick-
people who are singing the songs of your brother?
Mick Jagger, he and also the Beatles have done some, and Linda Ronstadt, and they're all good, but none to compare with Buddy, I don't believe.
Could you explain to me the difference between the pop music of today and the music of Buddy Holly? What's the difference for you? Are you listening to Madonna or Slade or Motorhead or call me some modern stuff?
Well, to be nice, to be real nice about it, I feel there's a lot of monotony in today's music. It's the same thing. And I think you can blame that on synthesizers. Today's music, if you listen to the first 6, 8, 10 notes, they all sound the same to me. Back in the 50s, if Chuck Berry was doing Johnny Be Good, you hear the first 5 notes, you know it's Chuck Berry. If it's Buddy Holly, you knew it was Buddy Holly.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. Love to last more than one day. Say love's love, not fade away.
Your love for me got to be real. For you to know just how I feel. A love for real, not fade away.
There is one secret for me in his life. I've talked about a lot of people about Buddy Holly, and he's like an angel for his family, for his mother, for his wife. I've interviewed his wife 6, 7 years ago. You've read that story from Little Richard in his book about Buddy Holly.
Yes, I have.
What do you think of that?
A, I do not believe it.
Me neither.
But B,
I'm sure.
if it happened, it
was
it
about,
certainly would not be before Buddy had to go on
explain
stage.
it was about sexual things Buddy Holly was
Exactly.
doing.
And
for
I'm
the
not
show.
saying he didn't do that, but he was not a saint. Buddy has been
But
called...
his brothers and his mother are talking about a saint.
Well, Buddy died at the age of 22 and really did not have time enough to fail, if you will, as a lot of the other artists that
To
went
be
on.
a devil.
Yeah.
To
But
become a devil.
Buddy has been called the gentleman of rock and roll. I defy you to find an onstage picture of him without wearing a shirt and a tie. He was always very clean. He made glasses okay to wear on stage. He was deeply religious. He donated money to his church when he was alive. So again, I'm not saying he's a saint, but he's what we call a nice person in the nicest sense of the word.
Well, he had a lot of sympathy for other guys. He wanted to help others, and he did help a few. I can't recall just who they were, but he was always glad to help someone else get into the music business, and did.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't recall just who they were.
I've got my own memories of Buddy, and I know how I want to remember him, not how some book will start getting me to try to remember him that way, because, you know, they make mistakes in those books and things. And
could you tell me an example of a mistake?
well, since I haven't read the book, but I
But
know
you've
there'll
heard
be-
about it.
Yeah, little old things, nothing serious at all.
Yeah, I don't know about what was in Little Richard's book.
About some sexual things.
Oh,
About,
yeah, well, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
You don't know that?
I don't know about
Is
that.
it true or is it untrue?
Is
it gossip? It could be only
I
gossip.
imagine it's gossip. I don't want to call Little Richard a liar, you know, if he was there, because I wasn't there, you know. But, I mean, Buddy Holly drank a beer and smoked a cigarette. He wasn't,
That was all.
He wasn't an angel, you know, he's just
No.
a guy
But
like the rest
perhaps
of us.
they make too much an angel of him. I
Right,
think he's
maybe
one
so.
of the greatest in rock and roll history. But
Right, he was an awful good singer, but he wasn't, he was not angelic.
he was not angelic.
No.
And you?
Oh, no, still not, I don't suppose.
No, I don't believe that I've read a thing that would make me angry.
But they've written a lot of lies too, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yes, fiction mostly that they've put in, and that's all right with me.
It's all right with you.
If if it is anything bad, and so I don't know of a thing that's been written that's been bad about Buddy. Have you?
No.
No, most all been good.
Yeah.
Well, Raymond, it's a crazy feeling, and I know it's got me reeling. I'm so glad that you're revealing your love for me. Raymond, and tell me not to be lonely. Tell me you love me only, Raymond, to me.
There are released a lot of songs now. Is there anything in a stock or in a cabin, a new song you think?
Not that I know of.
No? You're sure?
I'm not positive, but to my knowledge, there isn't.
I've heard some new songs. I've never heard that songs. Could you play that songs for me again? No, I don't think so.
Unfortunately, I've been privileged to have these, and I've given my word, and because of copyright control and all, I can't. We've been trying for 3 years to get some new albums out of new Buddy Holly material, and as you know now, there is a lot of new material. Once these things are all settled and the problems are settled, MCA Records wants this stuff out, and they will put it out immediately once the problems are settled.
Can you say in minutes to me how much stuff in minutes is there, or how much songs in minutes?
MCA,
I've heard the Mona version.
That is 8.5 minutes of a practice session. 8.5 minutes, and I hope they put it complete on an album. MCA has in their vaults enough material for 3 albums, and we know there is more material. There's other things that other people hold, and there is other material out there. There's at least 4 to 5 albums of new material.
4 to 5
4
albums?
to 5, undubbed, alternate takes, and new material in itself. There's a lot.
What's the most favorite song of your brother, in your opinion?
Well, there's several. I like Send Me Some Lovin' real well, and I like It's Too Late. In fact, as he did that song, It's Too Late for me.
She's gone.
And he brought me, I just had to aggravate him into doing it, and they did it on a one-cut deal. He brought me the acetate and signed it and gave it to me. And Brown-Eyed Handsome Man is another one that I had him do at my request. He didn't intend to cut it and make a record, you know. But those 3, I just love them. And I like Bo Diddley, all of them that he did.
I think True Love Ways.
True Love Ways. But you've written that by yourself, isn't it? For a part.
Well, yes, I did write that, I believe. I forget that, but I did write it.
It's been the same since I first heard it in July of '57. It's That'll Be the Day.
Could you play for me?
I don't know if I've got it.
The most beautiful version
Can
you've
we
ever
do a
heard.
segue to that? Or
Yes.
a record?
A record? Okay, a record.
Oh, no, I can do.
Now, that'll be the day?
That'll Be the Day.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. When you give me all your loving and your turn loving, all your hugs and kisses and your money too. Well, you know you love me, baby. Still you tell me maybe that someday, well, I'll be through. Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. If we ever part, then I leave you. You said you'd hold me and you did.
Ja hoor. Zijn vader. En hier is hij. It's raining in my heart. Nummer. Crying, waiting and hoping. Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue got married. Not afraid away. And that'll be the day. And it doesn't matter anymore. Het laatste nummer wat hij bij zijn leven heeft uitgebracht. In een georchestreerde versie met violen. En it doesn't matter anymore. Het doet er niet meer toe. Dat nummer stond op de Amerikaanse hitparade. Toen hij neerstortte in begin 59. Die begrafenis, het is heel raar geweest. Hij was nog niet zo lang getrouwd geweest met Maria Elena, een Puerto Ricaans. Die is niet op de begrafenis geweest. Want naar verluidt was ze ziek van verdriet. Wat mij hier zo verbaast eigenlijk op dit kerkhof... dat is me meer opgevallen bij graven van rock'n'roll helden... is dat het lijkt wel of er nooit iemand komt. Het lijkt wel of de rock'n'roll wereld hun helden niet bezoekt. Er is geen grote hoeveelheid met bloemen, geen monumenten. Hij heeft er nog een standbeeld. En ja, ik heb zo'n beetje het idee van een hele lange reis in mijn kop. Dat die volbracht is. Ik ben naar het graf van Buddy Holly geweest. Ik heb al zijn sporen gezien. En dan sta je hier op dit troosteloze kampement. Dus een graansilo, een rangeerperron en elektriciteitspalen. Misschien is het ook wel beter zo. Hey, Bud.
Iowa, 3 of the nation's top rock and roll singing stars, Richie Valens, J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson, and Buddy Holly died today with their pilot in the crash of a chartered plane. Following an appearance before 1,000 fans.
Are you playing them often, his records?
Quite a bit lately, because I've been really, there was about 10 years. I was so sad whenever he died that I couldn't even listen to his music.
For 10 years?
I couldn't even listen to the radio,
No.
period, anybody. And I just sort of lost interest. I thought, well, since Buddy's gone, it's all over, you know. But later on, the fans started calling and saying, how do you like this song or that song? And I thought, I better listen to him, you know, some more. And I started realizing then that he could put some feeling into it that I had never heard anybody else do. And now we've got another one. We was wondering if somebody would ever discover Buddy. And sure enough, he did. They did. Finally, they discovered him.
I remember that a good friend of ours, Nicky Sullivan's mother, called and wanted to know if we were listening to the radio. And I said, oh, yes, we listen to the radio a lot. She said, well, have you heard anything? And I said, well, I don't know what you mean. I said, we're listening to music. And she says, well, there's some news, and I wonder if you've heard it. And I said, well, no, I haven't. Just what are you talking about? She says, well, maybe I'd better find out some more about this, and then I'll talk to you later. And then I told my husband, I said, turn the radio on and let's hear. I told him what Mrs. Sullivan had said. That was Nicky Sullivan's mother. And I said, let's turn the radio on and see if there's some news. And immediately we heard, there's been a small plane crash. It's hard for me to talk about it even now. It's because that's what came next. They said there'd been a small plane crash in Iowa, And just the minute I heard that, I knew what they were going to tell. And that always makes me cry a little, because that was a sad time, very sad for us. But that's what came. Just the minute we turned the radio on. So there's been a small plane crash up in Iowa, and I knew that's where Buddy was.
You knew that?
And that's all they had to say. I knew the rest of it.
Yes.
I didn't even listen to the rest of it. But of course we heard it later.
Yes. But now with all his records are...
Oh yes, his records are. We listened to those. Yeah, we gradually, of course, got to where we could listen and take it all in again. But no, those were the moments that were so hard when we first got the news.
I will thank you very, very much for this interview.
Well, I thank you.
And it was a great honor to me to talk with the mother of Buddy Holly.
Yes.
The rock and roll star.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I admire your son.
Well, I hope I've pleased you with my question, with my answers, and given you what you'd like to hear. I do the best that I can.
And thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
I will help you from the chair, please. Yes.
Okay. We're through now, are we?
Yes, we do.
Oh. I'm a little bit heavier than I look.
Come on.
Yeah, thank you. We're through with this then.
And now you go listen to your granddaughter.
I certainly hope that I have said something that
it's okay.
That was all right.
Thank you very much.
Well, where's my granddaughter?
Well, all right, so I'm being foolish. Well, all right, let people know about the dreams and wishes you wish in the night when lights are low. Well, all right, we will live and love with all our might. Well, all right, our lifetime love will be all right.
Maar het gek, zij vertelde natuurlijk als moeder. En ik weet dat ik aan de radio hing. Ik hoorde het op Radio Luxemburg een dag later. Dat is de enige popzender die we toen hadden. En dat hetzelfde moment opeens mij weer terugkwam. Ik viel me een ongelooflijk sentimentele draak, dat weet ik ook wel. Maar het deed me echt wat. Ik dat hele interview denk... Ik wil eigenlijk alleen maar praten. Niet omdat ik zo graag over dood wil horen. Maar gewoon omdat het zo'n ongelooflijke betekenis heeft gehad. Ook voor mij en al die andere rock'n'roll fans. En opeens met die moeder hier te zitten, dat vind ik zo'n fantastisch moment. En de radio betekende nog wat. En dat geldt aan alles. De radio maakte de rock'n'roll. En op de radio hoorde je ook dat je zoon overleden was.
Be all right.
Well, all right, we will live and love with all our might. Well, all right, our lifetime love will be all